This episode is I've Got Rhythmic, which if you're watching on Disney Plus is season 1, episode 5. Hello, and welcome to Living Lizzie, a very McGuire podcast. I'm Jake Thomas, a.k.a. Matt McGuire.
And I'm Davida Williams, a.k.a. Claire Miller.
And this episode is going to be I've Got Rhythmic. When Lizzie, she discovers that she's just really good at rhythmic gymnastics.
Yeah.
Which I've never just picked up like a baton or something, or just anything in general and be like, I'm really good at this.
I've definitely never, I've tried that once, but I wasn't good at it.
Yeah,
but it was really fun.
It looks like it's fun. I mean, I feel like I have a cat toy that's like that, and I just do this and everything. I mean, I like to pretend I'm doing rhythmic gymnastics, but it's just my cat doing most of the work. Yeah. This episode, what am I doing on this episode? Am I doing anything? I feel like I'm not really actually doing that much, but I have a really quotable line that people say to me all the time, which is, I say Tarzan backwards. Like it's an easy thing that I can do. Yeah. Oh yeah, Tarzan, Nazrat. Yeah. Nazrat. I totally forgot about that line, but people always talk about it. I was like, I don't know what episode that was, but it was this one.
So funny. Yeah, it was this one.
Rhythmic gymnastics. You know, when I feel like I think of middle school or just like grade school sports, I don't feel like I think about rhythmic gymnastics.
No, I don't think that's something that's very common in schools.
What sports did you play in school?
A little bit of volleyball. Okay. I was on the B team.
Okay. That seems like that's a normal school sport.
We had 2 teams and I was in the team that wasn't as good.
Okay. To be fair, I was not on any teams anything. So
that was like my one attempt at trying to get involved in intramural sports.
Okay.
I wasn't great at it.
Yeah, it's better than me. But the main reason why Lizzie feels like she has to like take on rhythmic gymnastics and be good at this is because she feels pressured that everybody around her is good at something. Yeah. And she's not good at anything. Yeah. I mean, it's like what it was. Miranda's very crafty and she can make things. Gordo's just like a smart filmmaker.
He's the original vlogger.
He is.
Yeah.
And he has a digicam the entire episode.
The entire episode. I was thinking that. I was like, wow, he really started this whole YouTube vlogging thing.
Just to think, if Gordo had been posting things on YouTube right now, he would be David Dobrik.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So that's who he would be if he was uploading those on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. The original vlog squad.
Yeah. Really missed opportunity there.
Yeah, definitely. And I remember too on this episode looking at, this is a little Easter egg, but when she looks at all the grades and everything, and she's like saying like what her grade, she's got a B. If you look at the names on there, it's the name of our, like there's crew. It's like, it's all crew.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There's like Robin Lippin, who was our casting director. There was like our sound mixer's name on there. There was our second AD's name on there.
You're blowing my mind. I didn't even notice that when I watched it.
It was a little Easter egg for everybody. Yeah.
Wow.
I know. They're constantly sneaking those things in here and there. I remember, so one name on there was Polly. Polly was our second AD for a little while. I had completely forgotten about Polly. Polly was great. Polly was so cool. And I had to look up a lot of our crew, and I was very proud, surprised, super proud, but a lot of our crew is still working and doing really well.
Amazing. I actually should do that. I should do that. What are do you have any highlights?
Well, okay, so Polly, for example, Polly was our second AD. And if you don't know, a second AD, a second assistant director, basically what they do is they kind of wrangle talent. Yeah. Like they're the ones who are going and grabbing us from, our trailers or dressing rooms. They're bringing us to set. They're flying us in, as they say. They're flying. Davida's flying in right now.
Yeah. It's a pretty crazy job.
It is.
Like it's high stress, high stakes. You have to keep everything in the ADs. You got to keep everything
the ADs,
going.
Also, a first AD, a first assistant director, that is a hard job. I don't want that job.
Ever.
I have a first AD that I work with all the time that she is absolutely fantastic.
I love watching them work because you kind of have to be a little bit of a tyrant.
You do. But here's the thing. A first AD, there's two different types of first ADs, I feel like. There's the first AD that does all the yelling.
Yes.
Those where it's like, somebody's got to be the bad guy.
Somebody has to tell the director, we got to move.
Yeah. And so that's that first AD. And then the other first AD is the one who's where like they bring the zen to set. And like they help everything keep calm. That's what the first AD that I use on my shoots. That's what she is. She's calm. She like I just try to like make sure that my crew is always the people that make me look really good. Yeah. And I have to do the minimal amount of like actually just directing. And then they film me. They make me look great. But anyway, a first AD is the one who's on set and they have to do all the grunt work of like making the schedule.
Very difficult.
It's super hard work. But going back to Polly was our second AD for a little while on the show. She's now a first AD. She's jumped up. She did shows like Breaking Bad.
Oh my gosh.
Better Call Saul. She works a ton.
Good for her.
Great for her.
Yeah,
she's
that's
doing
amazing.
Great. And then I saw, do you remember our first AD, Glenn, at all? Glenn is also, he's still first ADing, but he's doing like big shows. I can't remember what it was, but he's doing a lot of stuff.
That's so good to hear.
I know.
It's really good to hear.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. One thing I noticed from this episode too is, I mean, these first episodes, it's a long time ago. This is early on in the show.
They're antiques.
They're legitimately antiques because everybody looks so young.
Yeah.
And I feel like the person on this episode that looked the most strikingly different and young was Kyle Downs, who played Larry Tudgman.
Yeah.
He looks so young
like
on this
a baby,
one.
Yeah.
He looks like a baby.
Because he kind of grew up pretty quickly after that.
Yeah, I mean, he was a little bit older than us anyway.
Yeah.
He was always very cool too.
Very nice.
He's like the polar opposite of his character on the show. He was like, I think he had a motorcycle that he would ride.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because he was a little bit older. He had a motorcycle. He'd ride it to set and everything. He had a leather jacket. Very cool. And then he had to put on the exact same shirt every time. And they had fake boogers on the collar. It was disgusting, but he was a really cool guy.
I bet that went well in he was playing high school or something and had to play the guy with boogers everywhere.
Yeah, and speaking of first ADs, I know he does a lot of first AD work.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Or at least he used to.
Him.
Yeah, I know. So when Lizzie and the rest of the gym class crew are on the field, and they're trying out juggling and everything. Like Kate has a major mishap. She drops a club. I guess that's a club, a juggling club on her foot. And then Lizzie takes the ribbon. Literal lightning bolts come out of her hand. I'm not sure if they've ever had another moment in the show where like they used special effects
like
to that degree, like superpowers, but literal just lightning bolts light up. If I picked up something and lightning bolts were coming out of my hand and that object, I would drop that immediately.
True. But do you think she's recognizing that they're lightning bolts? Or?
Maybe. I mean, it's just like, I have the power. It's like it's like He-Man kind of thing, but like with a sword, but it's a baton. And then they go into what I can only describe as the weirdest montage of the entirety of the show. Lizzie is doing the baton and it's like overlapping in slow motion with like more shots of the baton and then everybody's faces in slow motion as they're going. It's Coach Kelly, it's Miranda, it's everybody, and then of course it's Kate when she's like
a little jealous. Yeah.
And everyone's just in awe. And really, I mean, all she did was she just did this in a spin. How good
she was. It's still kind of cool, though. I mean, but it is what I'll say. When I tried it, I was like, oh, you just go like this.
Yeah,
and then
that's
it looks really cool.
I mean, I think it's pretty easy to do.
It is. Yeah. Is it an Olympic sport?
I want to say it's like a bonus sport for people who already do gymnastics.
Maybe just like an extra prop.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think there's like a ribbon section.
I don't think they really do this many places.
Yeah, no.
It's such a creative idea to put it in an episode because there's so many other things she could have done at school.
I think it's because the bar is really low for skill on that. It's just you can have a ribbon and just yeah.
Because then right. I get it. I get what you're saying.
It is rhythmic gymnastics is, but not the ribbon part. Not the ribbon. I would say it's other things.
Okay,
like you're doing a whole dance performance kind of thing.
And then you can add it in.
Yeah,
got it. Yeah. There's not a whole section of like
just
people
ribbon.
competing ribbon.
Just with ribbons. Yeah. How much do you think an Olympic rhythmic gymnastics ribbon costs? What are the specs on that? I don't know.
I would guess like $50.
I would say that's like the top.
Yeah.
Right? I wouldn't spend more than $50.
I feel like you could get one on Amazon for like $15.
I feel like an Olympic athlete would know the difference between a $15 one and a $50 one.
But in case you want to just practice at home and you can just get a little one from Amazon maybe.
Yeah. I bet they have like a case that they bring to events where it's just, this is the ribbon case.
And you open it and it's like,
it's got locks on it and everything. I can't perform without my specific brand.
My ribbon.
There is an interesting scene too, in the post, ribbon dance outside in the locker rooms. I don't know if you noticed this, but there's this shot where Lizzie and Miranda are in the locker room, and then the camera pans over to a mirror, a really large mirror, and then it zooms into the mirror, and then we're at a reverse shot of Coach Kelly talking to Kate, and then also Lizzie and Miranda, and then it flips over. It was fancy. It was way too much camera blocking. It was way too complicated for what that needed to be.
For a Disney show about middle schoolers.
Yeah. I feel like the DP, Bill Barber, I feel like he was maybe flexing his muscles a little too
bit.
much there.
You got to have something for the reel.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Let me ask you something. When you think of Kate, what do you think her last name is?
Well, I know her last name.
In the show.
Right.
What is it?
Sanders, right?
Is it right?
Claire Miller, Kate. Didn't we call someone Mrs. Sanders?
Is it Sanders or is it Saunders?
Oh, could be Saunders.
Evidently, it has switched between the two.
Oh, really? People will just change it on the show?
A few episodes, it's Saunders, and another few episodes, it's Sanders.
Okay, that's interesting. I think I was a Sanders girl.
Okay, a Sanders girl.
I was a Sanders girl,
one of the Sanderson sisters.
Saunders. I wonder how, I think about that a lot too, because when I audition, I'm like, how do I say this? And now that it's taped, they can't correct you. So I'm just saying all sorts of things in there.
Yeah. So, I think maybe season 2, they put it in, like, set it in stone as Sanders.
As Sanders. Okay.
But yeah, there's a handful of these early episodes where they say Saunders.
Saunders. Who was saying Saunders?
Lizzie was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lizzie and Coach Kelly, everybody was saying Saunders.
It was just a free-for-all.
Yeah, pretty much. So we do go into a great montage here of Lizzie training to become the best rhythmic gymnastic athlete around, which it was very Rocky. Yeah. The whole thing.
Yes, it was.
But to start it off too, the thing that was weird is, we have this DV cam thing that Gordo's doing. He's recording the whole thing. He's making a documentary of Lizzie becoming this pro athlete. Yeah. But if you remember, there is a shot where Gordo is there as Lizzie is waking up.
Yeah.
Her alarm goes off and he's filming her.
Just there. Yeah, that's a bit much.
Which means that he was there watching her sleep. Filming her, watching her sleep. She was okay with that, I guess, maybe.
I think about that a lot in reality shows that I watch. When people wake up and you're like,
it's not real.
Was he there? Okay.
I mean, that part's not real.
That part's not real, but the Gordo thing, that was crazy.
It was a little weird.
She's a little too young to have guys in her bedroom while she's asleep.
Yeah, filming her.
Yeah, without her knowledge. Also, she eats like raw eggs.
Well, she is given raw eggs, and then she decides to put them on a pan and fry them into an omelet. He thinks she's gonna drink it. Have you ever had a raw egg?
No, I remember my mom. Like, I remember wanting to try that when I was younger, just because it seemed like it was good for you. I heard, but my mom would always tell me about you could get salmonella or something in there.
Yeah, even
though salmonella is really the shell.
Is it?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know. I could be
evidently
wrong.
In Japan, like salmonella is not a thing.
Oh,
like you can have raw chicken, but because like their food safety is so much higher, there's no risk of salmonella.
Yeah. Have you had raw chicken?
No.
I was gonna say I just don't think I'd want that.
I'm good. I did one time have in Korea raw shrimp. Okay. Uncooked raw shrimp.
Seafood, I feel like, is different.
Yeah, but for shrimp, I'd never had it completely raw before. It was interesting.
Chewy.
It was a little, I was very hungry. Halfway through the meal, I was like, I'm good now. I'm good.
It's enough. You didn't get sick or anything.
No, okay. It was perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. I have friends that I work out with that they always do these kind of just interesting diets. They were doing keto for a while, which was just like they were just having sticks of butter,
meat,
nothing but meat. And like the major concern there is like, you'll like have a bunch of protein and cut a lot of fat, but like your cholesterol is going to go through the roof.
Your arteries are clogged. My boyfriend does keto, and we'll go out to eat, and he'll say, "Can I have that with extra meat?" And I'm like, oh, that is so dangerous, but he doesn't believe me.
And then one of those friends, he is trying to bulk right now, so he came up with this shake that he drinks every day now that is over 1,500 calories.
Oh my god!
In one shake,
You're
and I'm
supposed
like,
to have that in a day.
I was like, that's like nearly what I eat in a day.
That's for a girl of my height. That's
a day. That's a day's worth of food.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not about that. All right, so we established Matt doesn't do a whole lot in this episode. Right. He's just kind of on the side or whatever. This is mainly all about rhythmic gymnastics. But Matt does state that he is good at like multiple things. He says he's good at 6 things, but we only hear 3. He can do that curly Q thing with his tongue, whatever that means. I mean, I guess it's like that thing. Yeah. He can eat 3 spoonfuls of wasabi, and he can say anyone's name backwards: Tarzan, Nazrat. Which brings up today's challenge. We are going to try all 3 of the mentioned Matt challenges today. In this episode.
Do you have wasabi?
Oh, you bet I got wasabi.
I was just about to brag that I do like wasabi, but I do not want like a spoonful.
Well, here we go.
I'll try it.
So, all right. The first part of the challenge is who can do the weirdest thing with their tongue?
I can't really. I mean.
Okay. All right. That's Davida's submission. My submission is I can make a smiley face with my tongue.
I've seen that before. Show us. I think I've seen it. Okay. Oh, like that? I can do that. A little bit.
Well, you can hear your eyes in the back.
Oh, got it. Okay.
I don't know if that's going to show up on camera.
Oh. Yeah, it might not.
We'll call that a draw. All right. For challenge 2, would you like wasabi or names?
Wasabi.
Wasabi? Okay.
Yeah.
Bring in the wasabi. Yeah.
Clear out our sinuses. You did say you were having allergies.
Yeah. So this will maybe help. Okay. So what do we do here? Are we just gonna go until like somebody gives up? Who can do 3 spoonfuls? We'll start 1 spoonful at a time.
Yeah, let's do 1 spoonful,
1 spoonful at a time.
That might tap me out. I don't know. Do you eat wasabi a lot?
So here's the thing too. I mean, I do like
food.
wasabi, but on food.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. This right here, this is not real wasabi. Like all this like paste stuff, like that's not wasabi. You've been lied to your whole life.
But it's still spicy.
This is horseradish.
Horseradish, yeah.
Real wasabi is really expensive. There's only like one sushi chain that I know of that has real wasabi. You're never gonna believe this. It's the Kula, the revolving sushi place. They have real wasabi.
Oh,
it's more like granular. It's like a powder almost kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
But because you have to like grind it from the root. But yeah, this is just horseradish.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah.
I knew it had a horseradish. It like tastes like horseradish, but
okay, I'm gonna do that much right there. All right. That seems like I have more. I have more than that. Come on. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Ooh, all right.
You ready?
Ooh.
Okay. Here we go.
Here we go.
This is bad. This is a bad idea.
Oh my God. It takes a minute. What do you think? Is that it? I'm crying.
I'm gonna say that's it. I'm gonna say that's it.
That really hurt.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wow, that goes just straight
it's so
to
weird because at first you don't really taste it. It takes a second and then it's like
and then
a rush.
But it's not a spice that like goes to like your tongue or anything. It just goes straight to your sinuses.
That's why, because it takes a minute to like get down your. Are we gonna be able to finish?
Yeah. We're good.
It's like that show Hot Ones.
We should do one, but it's just sushi with lots of wasabi.
Ooh, well, we did our first challenge.
Yeah. All right. So then,
you okay?
I'm great. I'm doing really good. I'm gonna get rid of this.
Yeah.
This needs to just go away. It's not even real wasabi.
It was pretty flavorful.
All right. So I think this is going to bring us to our tiebreaker.
Oh my God. Oh, the names.
The names. Who can say the most I'm sorry, I'm still Who can say names of people on the show more convincingly backwards? I feel like we should go back and forth until somebody can't do it within like a few seconds.
Okay.
Maybe? Okay. Would you like to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
Kate Eckett.
Okay. Lizzie Izzle.
Jake. Oh no, that's not a character. Tam. Matt Tam.
Okay. Mass Sam.
Nat. Ethan.
Okay. All right. Sure. Okay. Ordug. Gordo.
Okay.
Gordo Ordug.
And now, Enal.
What was that name?
Enal Lanny.
Okay. Okay. Odge Joe.
Oh gosh. I lost. I couldn't think of it. I was gonna try Miranda, but that got too complicated in my head.
How would Miranda be? Miranda. Adderm.
Yeah. It got too complicated for me to think of it quick.
I'm still feeling the wasabi.
Yeah, I'm a little sad.
Yeah. So the episode ends with Lizzie doing this big
performance.
Performance.
It was great, by the way.
Was it a performance or was it a gymnastics meet?
Yeah.
I guess it was like a gymnastics competition.
Yeah.
Was it state? I don't know if it was state or something local,
yeah.
something like that. But she does this whole performance, which, by the way, the stage that was filmed on with the white cyc. That's what they called, like, when it's like the white background that goes from like the floor smoothly up to the walls. A white cyc. That was the stage that we did the opening title sequence on with all the balls and everything. That was that stage.
Oh, nice.
It's also the same stage where I had my 13th birthday party.
Fun.
Yeah.
Very fun.
So she does the meet, the competition. She wins. But then she says, "Meh, I don't know if this is for me. I don't want to do this anymore."
I think that's a really good lesson in kids having their own agency and finding out who they are and figuring out who they are. And just because you're good at something doesn't mean you want to do it all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah, I liked that lesson in that one.
But it also kind of makes it difficult because she essentially is saying, "I'm the best at the sport. I'm going to quit now before anyone can beat me."
Yeah.
She retired at the top.
At the top.
I mean, it's smart. It's smart. She didn't give anybody an opportunity to beat her.
Yeah. Very Michael Jordan of her.
Very Michael Jordan of her. Yeah.
It's a good decision.
It's a good tactic.
I think
It's a good
so
tactic.
Too.
It's the Michael Jordan tactic, but less gambling.
Yeah.
Yeah. We again have a few references, as always, in this that are pretty dated.
Yeah.
We have a Liv Campbell reference from Scream.
I love Liv Campbell.
But also,
Nev Campbell.
Nev Campbell. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I love Nev Campbell. I actually just watched the new Scream yesterday, but she's not. It's really good, but she's not in it.
Oh, okay. Then it's not that good.
Yeah, it's like a whole new cast.
We also have another Survivor reference. Please vote me out. Please vote me out.
That's so funny how they bring up Survivor all the time.
It was so relevant at the time.
It was, yeah.
It was everywhere.
It was. Larry Tudgman makes a joke that I was like, ooh.
What's he say?
He makes a joke about basically a plague of like penicillin resistant bacteria in the show. He mentions. And
is that what he's growing?
Yes.
Is a penicillin resistant bacteria?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh my God, he's trying to start another like COVID situation. My God.
He's going to wipe us all out.
Yeah. That's I wrote that. I was like, wow, it's a little bit crazy.
Yeah,
but,
really? Mm-hmm. Okay. Huh. I totally missed that.
Yeah, I didn't because I'm a germaphobe. I was like, ooh, he cannot be doing that around students.
Larry Tudgman's pretty evil.
Yeah.
Wow. Kate also says, Lizzie, like a joke, a stab at Lizzie where she's like, "Oh, what's your email address? Is it Lizzie@biggiantloser.com?"
Oh, yeah.
I checked the domain.
Did you really?
It's available. It's on GoDaddy, biggiantloser.com. If you wanna get that domain name,
did you buy
it is available. I should just buy it. I should just buy it and make it forward to like my website. I have a new website, by the way.
Oh.
And if you go in there and you look around, there's a little DVD thing on there where you can find the 2 reboot episodes of Lizzie McGuire. If you click on that, it'll go to a video and you can watch them. So go and check that out. JakeThomas.com. Yeah, it's pretty big. Let's see. Oh, here's something I missed. Kate does a thing where she's watching Lizzie practice.
Yes.
And she turns green. Kate literally turns green with envy.
Green with envy, yeah.
But she kind of hulks out, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Kind of weird.
It was a strange episode, yeah.
They were pulling out all the stops with the special effects budget. I mean, they realized that they could do some special effects computer tricks and like, I mean, really, if you're not using everything at your disposal, you're losing money.
Yeah.
You know? They downloaded those filters for iMovie and they needed it. That scene though where Kate goes into go and convince Larry Tudgman to go and be evil with, although he should be evil with the penicillin, like you said, but no, just do the evil things of like taking the hoop. The way that they filmed that was very stylized, film noir, femme fatale.
It was
because they had the chiaroscuro. What is it? Is that chiaroscuro? Whatever. Where they have like the shadows from the blinds on the walls.
Yeah.
That I had a whole class in college that was all just film noir, and that was like it was checking all the boxes for femme fatale.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. When Miranda comes to the rescue and climbed up to the top of the stage or the building where Larry Tudgman has taken the hoop, she has a fire hydrant. Or no, a fire extinguisher with her. And she threatens him with a fire extinguisher. And she says, "Is this loaded or unloaded? I don't know. Do you feel lucky?" She makes a Dirty Harry reference. Yeah. Do you feel lucky, punk?
Yeah. I don't think anyone watching that.
No one watched that has seen
maybe
Dirty Harry.
The parents.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the little things for the parents if they're watching.
Yeah.
They're throwing those jokes, I guess. Also, if the fire extinguisher was not loaded, that's a fire hazard. That's against code.
Yeah, I think you at a school.
Yeah, you have to. Those are checked.
Yeah, you have
to. That's a major code violation if it was not loaded. The very last thing that I want to talk about in this episode is there is a ending sequence where Lizzie is like, "I'm okay with who I am," and she's walking down the hallway, she's looking at everybody, but at the same time, she is absolutely brutal to everyone else in the hallway. There's a kid that's looking at his grades, and she's like. And she says in this internal monologue, destined, for great grades, but destined to never get a date. And then there's a shot of like him like down on his knees like this, and like Lizzie's like,
oh my
which
God.
Is brutal.
It's very brutal.
And then there's another shot where there's the girl who's doing like ballerina dances, and she says, "Oh yeah, she's like doing ballerina or whatever, but she's destined to destined to be like too skinny and a double bunionectomy." And like there's a shot of her like doing ballet, and then she's got casts on her feet. I'm like, geez,
that's very dark.
That's a little dark.
The rhythm gymnastics gave Lizzie a little bit of confidence.
And then the last one is all the nerds, and it's like Larry Tudgman and all the other guys, and she says, "Oh, they're all destined to be bazillionaires," and it's like them in sports cars. Which I feel like that was sending the wrong message on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, and they're driving the sports cars, and she says, "Call me."
Call me.
Lizzie lost a lot of points for me on this episode.
Yeah.
There's not a lesson there.
It seemed like there was, but it doesn't seem like she learned it.
She did not learn that lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too bad. And then there's no B story to gather any other supplementary lesson from. It was all Lizzie just honestly make mistakes. Yeah, doing some wand stuff, which by the way, that didn't evidently help us, the rhythmic gymnastics, with doing those wand things for the in between. This is the Disney Channel thing. Yeah. Have you seen the video where people like somebody took those things and they actually tracked it? Yeah. I feel like I did the best out of everyone there. I don't know.
God, I never got to do it. It was always a dream of mine.
I know. It was. I mean, we never knew. We didn't know what it was at the time. We were the first ones to do it, so it was like,
wow.
It was like, oh, what are we doing? Oh, cool. Okay, great. I didn't know this was a thing. All right, cool. There was a cardboard cutout of like ears, and that's what we had to try to follow and trace. So the episode started with Kate putting Lizzie down, and the episode ended with Lizzie putting everyone down. Which
I guess the lesson was learned from Kate. She learned to do what Kate does.
Hurt people.
Yeah. It's so true.
That's the lesson.
That's so
true. Hurt people, and also retire when you're at the top. That way nobody can ever say that they're better than you.
Yeah, that is the lesson.
That's the lesson. All right. So let's go to questions from the audience on this one. The first one comes from Irene, who commented on the YouTube video. The question is, over the years, Disney Channel has produced a lot of epic crossover episodes. The Sweet Life of Hannah Montana, stuff like that. If you could go back in time and create a crossover episode for Lizzie McGuire, which shows would you like to team up with? It can be Disney or Nickelodeon, which that would never happen, but sure, we'll go with that.
Well, I mean, there should have been an Even Stevens crossover because that was filming at the same time.
It was, and we had a lot of the same directors.
Yeah, a lot of the same directors, a lot of the same people. That would have been fun. Could have worked with Christy. I don't know. There's a couple of shows that I really liked. They were a little bit later.
Yeah.
I tested for The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody against Brenda.
Okay.
I didn't get it. Obviously, she got it. She did? Brenda Song.
She got it?
Yeah. Yeah, she booked it. She's a great friend of mine. I love Brenda. It would have been great to work on that show because she's so funny and just to be around those guys. That and That's So Raven.
Yeah. I think there should be, okay. That's So Raven was a little bit after Lizzie.
It was after.
Yeah. But if we're taking like time doesn't matter kind of thing, how about a Lizzie McGuire, Corey in the House crossover? And then younger me would meet older me.
Oh, whoa.
That would be interesting.
That would be crazy.
That would be fun.
Corey was the spin-off of Raven.
Yes.
Yeah. That would be great. I loved that show.
Yeah. I was the CIA operative guy, the son of the head of the CIA. I was the geeky bad guy of the show.
That's so funny.
Yeah. But for a practical one, oh man, we kind of had a crossover slightly with Malcolm in the Middle. Because we had
Frankie
Muniz. He came on for an episode because he was like filming or something in their town. So that would have been that's kind of one, but Famous Jet Jackson.
That was a good show.
That was a great show.
Yeah, that was.
That
would
have been a cool crossover. Yeah. That would have been cool. Maybe Jet Jackson comes to town. He's got to film something.
Yeah,
that would have been cool. Yeah, that's what I'd say. Okay, Mark from the Patreon asks, what is the most meaningful life lesson you have gotten or that you've learned from being on the show?
I think learning to work in teams and just how it takes a lot of moving parts to make a show work. So you have to treat everyone respectfully, and because we're all working together to make this happen. Because like we said, we didn't play a lot of sports. And even then, that's a little more competitive than you're supposed to be on like a set where everyone's working together. So yeah, that's what I learned.
Okay. For me, oh man, I guess life lesson from the show. Are we saying like life lesson from like working on the show or life lesson from like a message that the show was conveying? I feel like it could go probably either way, right? Either way. I'll go the route of life lesson from the actual like message of the show.
Okay.
It's probably that, always be there for your friends.
Yeah.
Always be there, because when you need them most, you're going to want them there. So you should always be there when they need you. And if you make a mistake, it's never too late to amend it.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. That's what I'd say. All right, with that, that's going to end us on this episode of Living Lizzie. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're not watching the YouTube version, check that one out, subscribe. And if you want your questions to be answered on the show, comment them. Leave them on the comments below. Send them to us. We want to hear from you. All right, with that, thank you so much. We'll see you.
Bye.